I'll be doing a quick tutorial on routing in Triple Bingo for Super Mario 64. Now, a lot of you have been maybe experimenting or thinking about playing a Triple Bingo and are unsure what the most efficient way to make a clean route is. And I've done about 10 Triple Bingos, so I'm basically an expert. So hopefully I'll be able to go over in detail some strats you can use to make sure to make a route as fast as possible. Because as you know, in Super Mario 64, you only have about a minute to look at the entire board and make a route and be able to stick to it and execute the missions as efficiently as possible. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is pattern advantage, and what I mean by that is, what if I told you this route and this route were inherently different, and that this route right here is actually better than this one? Can you see why? Well, this route has 13 goals that you have to complete in order to get a triple bingo, but this route only has 12, even though it's still the same triple bingo. And the reason for that is because you have 1, 2, 3 intersections, all of in different spots, but in this one you have 3 intersection on the same goal. So a major thing you want to keep in mind when making your route is not to intersect all of your lines in the same spot, because that'll add on an extra goal that you don't want. Now, there are many ways that you can do this. For example, if this row was here, that's still 12. If this row was here, that's still 12. If you have 2 diagonals and a row like this, that's also 12. There's a lot of different combinations you can get to have 12 goal triples instead of 13 goal triples. But there are a lot of ones that are very dangerous for 13 goal triples that seem like they would work, such as this one. Also, this one wouldn't work because they all intersect the same point. If you do, double diagonal and then one through the center, that also doesn't work because they all intersect the same point. Basically, you want to just make sure that you have one of each, one of each diagonal, column, and row, but also so that they don't intersect the same point. That way you'll get a 12 goal board, which is I guess more optimal, because you have to do one less goal to complete a triple bingo. Now, that being said, it might be obvious now that the diagonals are the most important rows on the board. So when I first open up the card, the first thing I look for is the diagonals and see if I can get one or ideally both of the diagonals to be able to make the most efficient route. For example, let's say I just open up this card and I wanna make a route. So first thing I look for is the diagonals. So I'm gonna look at this diagonal. I'm gonna say, okay, it has All Stars BBH. It has Open 3 Cannons, 100 coin star at TTM, 100 coin star WDW, and All Stars JRB. Now you may think, oh, it has All Stars JRB and All Stars BBH. Those are going to be really long goals. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to look at the second diagonal. Red coin, 3 character races, 100 coin TTM, 6 stars SSL, red coin HMC. This one does look a little bit better. So you may think, okay, let me go for this one. So the second strat you want to do after you find your diagonal is find the longest goal you can in the diagonal. And in this case, it's probably going to be 6 stars SSL. And that's, of course, including, assuming you don't do like double pillarless or something. I don't know how fast you can do 6 stars SSL. It doesn't matter. And then you want to pair the longest goal with another overlap. Because if you overlap the longest goal, then that means you can get faster rows without having to do another really, really long goal. So let's try and find one that will overlap with SSL. So we have red coin JRB. That's really long. You have to get star 1 to do red coin JRB. All stars THI is another really long one. So this row might not work. 4 stars Bob CCM is also a really long goal because Bob stars are not fast. But the rest of them are. So you might be able to do this one. So we have this diagonal and column 4. That's already a pretty good route. So let's try and find a third one. So you might think, okay, what's the longest goal in this one? It could be 12 Castle Secret Stars, or it could be 4 stars Bob CCM. And if you're going for 12 Castle Secret Stars, the only one that'll intersect would be row 5, which has All Stars JRB. So that's kind of out. If you want to intersect 4 stars Bob CCM, then you might want to look at this one. All Stars BBH is of course a shorter goal, but it's not super short. So this might come into a big problem, because even though you went for this diagonal that was shorter than this diagonal, it might have a worse route overall. So let's go back to this diagonal. Let's say I went for All Stars BBH, 3 cannons, TTM, WDW, and All Stars JRB. 2 really long goals are in this thing. But let's look at the adjacent rows and columns for JRB and BBH. We have 30 total stars, 6 stars BBH, 20 lives, and red coin HMC. Now this column is going to be really, really good, because not only are we intersecting JRB, but we're also getting 6 stars BBH, which is included in All Stars BBH. So that's going to be a lot better, because basically you're only doing 2 extra goals, let's be honest, because 30 total stars is a given. And red coin HMC would be pretty long, but it's nowhere near as long as if this was not already included. Let's also look at this row. This one says 100 coin BBH, Cruiser Crossing the Rainbow R, 12 Secret Stars, red coin WDW. Well, red coin WDW can be paired with 100 coin WDW, and 100 coin BBH is going to be included in All Stars BBH. So what we have here is a column here and a row here that's going to be included in stars that we're already doing just in this column. So it's really important that you really look at all of your options, even if you want to blow it off and say, oh, there's 2 all-stars here, I can't do that one, because being able to overlap all of the goals is also very important. Now, another thing I just mentioned is that, let's say I went for that route and I got all of these goals. Well, I just got myself a bad pattern. That's 13 goals. However, because 6 stars BBH, 100 coin BBH, and red coin WDW are all included in stars I'm already getting, it might not be that bad. But we might be able to do better. It all depends.